So if you actually look at how coding agents work, it is unbelievable that they are as effective as they are. So I always tell people to do is next time you ask them to do a task, turn on verbose mode and watch how they do it. Here, let's go through a recent one that I did. So I'm working on a virtual speed dating app, and before you go on a date with someone, we show you their name and their age. And I wanted to update that to also include a picture of them. The agent doesn't know anything about my code base. It just has the prompt. So it starts by trying to orient itself. It's going to see what's in the root of the repo and check if there are any markdown files in the project, because those are usually where someone would keep documentation. Then another smart thing it does is it looks at the recent Git history. Often what I'm working on now is closely related to some change that I recently made. Then it lists all the directories in the repo to kind of orient itself. And once it has those, it decides it wants to know all the files under this particular directory. Again, it doesn't know anything, so it just chose that directory based on its name. And then it wants to know all the directories under this specific directory, probably because that previous search was limited to 60 results. So it thinks it might have missed something based on those files that it just listed. So at this point, the agent has most of the directories in the project and knows all the files under one of those directories, but doesn't know anything else besides the names of these things. It hasn't read anything yet. It decides there are 3 files that it might want to read, and it reads 2 of them. It's funny that it skips the 3rd one. I don't know, maybe it got what it was looking for from the first 2. It might even have been smart enough to read them in a specific order, expecting that to happen. So now is the first time that it's seen any of the code. And based on what it's read, it reads 6 more files. This is probably it following imports around. It sees something in one of the files that was imported from another one, so it goes and reads that one and so on. And at this point, it's done. It's got all of the context it needs to carry out the task, and it goes off and does the task, and it does an okay job. But crucially, it totally ignores authorization. So the way the app works is you cannot view another person's picture until you've gone on a date with them and matched with them. But the agent didn't get that context, because how would it have? I didn't tell it anything about that, and it didn't read any files related to that. This is the classic failure mode of coding agents. If you don't give them enough context, they have to build context for themselves, and they don't know when they have the full picture. So oftentimes they'll stop early and miss some key detail like this. Now, I probably could have avoided this if I mentioned how authorization worked in the prompt, or even if I had some note in my agents.md nudging the agent to think about auth concerns anytime it makes changes like this. But it's really hard to think of all of these things, and eventually something is going to slip through the cracks.